This date, March 17th, 3 years ago, was the beginning of a change that many of us did not see. I don't know for you, but March 17th, 2020 was the day that the pandemic started in my life. Ironically, at that time, I needed and I was looking for a break from work because it started to get heavy. I just needed a break. I just needed some relaxation. I don't remember exactly what was going on in that time, where work became, or going to work was becoming too much. But I do remember that I just needed the break. But I didn't expect the break to be as long as it was. I never saw life being what it is. And yes, sometimes I do yearn and long for a life before this whole mess started. I never saw us as not just a nation, but as a world going through what we have gone through these last 3 years. It just seems like it's been one thing after another, after another, after another, and after another. And it seems like there's been no reason or no way to breathe. A sigh of relief. Because it seems like when you do, something happens and you got to hold your breath again. And I've talked about it before, feeling heavy. Didn't realize I felt heavy until I felt light, only to feel light for a short time within the last 3 years. And it's been easy to look at and reflect on all the bad that has happened, because it seems like it's been more than the good that's happened. There is a gospel song that states that the good outweighs the bad. My good days outweigh my bad days. I try to see that, but in the last 3 years, it's been hard trying to see where my good days outweigh my bad days. But it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad. I started and came up with ideas for at least 2 streams of income. Daylight candles and daylight custom designs. And even with that, it's hard to focus on the good in that aspect because sales and support and orders are not coming in like I want them to. But I will say, if there is one thing that is good that outweighs the bad, all the bad in my life over the last 3 years, I would say the writing and the publication in book form of my life. That has been my greatest and my favorite and the best blessing and way to give God glory through my life. Just to hear the stories of how it's helped people in their lives. And how it's making me see myself differently. Because I only see myself the way I see myself, but to see myself through other people's eyes with them knowing my story. And it makes me, I guess I took what I went through or what I've lived for granted, because that's the only way of life that I've known. I didn't see it as anything special. I knew it was something that I needed to tell, something that I wanted to tell, something that I have told in video form. Never saw it being in book form. So if there's one thing that I can reflect on as the good outweighing the bad, it would be life in the daylight and seeing life's challenges differently. Even though it was written when life looked like it was gloomy and not daylight, good daylight, because there is still daylight when it's gloomy outside. My daylight just felt like, for the most part, over the last 3 years, that it was gloomy. So I guess I'm saying all this to say, to look at your life, your challenges, in a different way. I just woke up with this on my heart, just remembering that this date changed the life of many people 3 years ago. Like I said, in a way that we never saw happening. And things keep compounding on top of it, on top of it. Hopefully we find relief. Hopefully you find relief. Hopefully you find some escape, a right escape. What is the right escape? I guess the right escape changes for everyone. I know my escape has been being in church, being amongst people who love me. It's made it a little easier. Having God in my life has made it a little easier. Not always been easy, but it's made it easier. It could be worse. I just pray that all those that are having a hard time because of their pandemic, the aftermath of the pandemic, and other things beside the pandemic, I just pray you find relief. And I believe the best relief that you can find is in the love and in the arms and in the glory of God. I don't know who needed to hear this. It was heavy on my heart this morning to talk about my reflection of the last 3 years. So as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be the daylight in someone else's life and enjoy the daylight in yours. Be safe out there this weekend, with it being St. Patrick's Day and in the midst of March Madness. Be safe out there, y'all.